In this section we're going to learn the twisty corkscrew, which is where we do the corkscrew we were doing before, but now we're going to wrap our arms up a bit more. So I'll show you what it looks like with the hoops. So you get extra couple of circles at the top and the bottom. In poise spinning we call this a 4-beat corkscrew, because before we had 2 circles at the top and 2 circles at the bottom, so it was a 2-beat corkscrew, whereas now we've got 4 circles going on at the top and 4 circles at the bottom. So in poise spinning it's a 4-beat corkscrew. I'm calling it a twisty corkscrew. And it's quite challenging to learn, but I'm going to break it down into a number of different exercises. Have a go, it might take you a while to get, but yeah, it's quite a satisfying one when you get it, because it's kind of awkward, but it looks quite interesting. It looks slightly impossible that your arms can wrap up and keep spinning in that way. So first of all, I'll show you what the pathway is for the individual hoops. Again, I'm going to teach it with the right hand leading, so this is where my hands are moving anti-clockwise if we were looking at the circles from above. So, I'm going to show you what the movement is with just one hoop first. If we were doing our regular corkscrew, and we're doing 1 circle above, 1 circle below, so there's just one hoop. Then we added a circle at the top and the bottom. So, at the top, I'm going to let it spin on my hand. And then slightly more challenging, at the bottom, I'm going to let it spin on my thumb. Now you might find the bottom circle spinning on your thumb, you might find it slips off and does that. It's a bit more difficult to do, so it's going to take maybe a little bit of practice. These hoops haven't got any grip on, so they're really quite challenging to do it with. If you've got a bit more grip tape on your hoop, you'll find it easier. Also, it will just come if you drill it a bit. But I'm angling my thumb out as it's going around in a circle, so I'm sort of doing this. And even like moving my hand in a little bit of a circle to help push it round. So work on that until with this one-handed corkscrew you can do 1 circle at the top and the back of your hand and then 1 circle on your thumb, trying to keep the hoop horizontal as possible. So that's on the right hand. We have to learn it on the left hand as well. Remember to keep it going in the same direction. Work out what direction your corkscrew is going in and then try it with your left hand. So it doesn't seem this confusing, or it doesn't seem particularly confusing at this point, but it does get more confusing when you bring the other arm into play at the same time, because your arms need to twist up. But this is a good place to start, just getting used to doing these extra circles. So, once you've got the hang of that, I'm going to show you it without hoops. This might help you, it might not. If you remember, before when we were learning just the regular corkscrew, we learned it without hoops. We had our fingers pointing into ourselves, and we did this. Imagine with a tray in our hands, doing a circle above and a circle below. Now we're going to forget about the tray, but we're going to look at which hand's leading. So, again, if I'm going in this direction, my right hand leads up, and then my right hand leads down. So if I imagine there's this sort of line in front of me, like a layer in between me, between my head and my feet, just here, the hand that breaks it first is the right hand coming up, and the right hand coming down. See? Right hand up, right hand down. If we're doing this 4-beat corkscrew, or this twisty corkscrew, we're going to want to wrap our arms up. So instead of the right hand coming up first, I'm going to let the left hand come up first, like so. Then my hands unwrap all the way round, and then cross over, get this cross arm position, and again the left arm comes down first. Hopefully you can see this nice and easily by the different coloured wrists I've got here. Here's it with my right arm leading, and then if I let my arms wrap up, I've got my left hand leading down first, my left hand leading up first. Left hand down, left hand up, left hand down, left hand up. And this is where we get the extra circles. Might help you doing about hoops, might not. Have a go. The next thing we need to think about is how we do these extra circles at the top and the bottom. If I can show you quickly, I have to do the thumb rolls and back of the hand rolls, and they have to happen more or less at the same time. Now, it's probably easier, or slightly easier, to learn these more on the vertical plane, and it's quite a useful trick anyway. So I'll show you what they look like. First of all, let's learn the back of the hand spin one. And what we do is we're going to have our, just holding the hoop solid like this, you're going to turn your thumbs upside down with your arms crossed in this position. And then with one hoop going down and the other one going up like this, see, I'm opening my arms around in a circle. I'm going to let go of the bottom hoop and let it spin on the back of my hand. See? To here. And then straight after that, I'm going to let go of the second hoop and let it spin on the back of my hand. To here. Okay, I'm going to swap round shoots on which hand just to make it clearer. See, I'm here. I let my right arm's on top. I let go of the hoop in the bottom hand first, as I bring my right hand round. And then I let go of the hoop in my right hand and let it spin on the back of my hand and end up in this thumbs down position. So I'll show you that slightly faster. Go one hand and the other. One hand and the other. And this is what we're going to be doing, but with the hoops above our head. So get nice and comfortable with it vertically, and then we're going to try it horizontally as part of the pattern. Like so, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And think about the start and finish. We're always finishing and starting with our thumbs pointing down like this. If you end up like this, you've not quite got it right. It just does one circle, and then you go. So once you've got that one, unfortunately you've got another one to learn, because that's what it does at the top, but then it does something slightly more difficult at the bottom, believe it or not. At the bottom, it rolls over your thumbs. So it's exactly the same idea, but it's a bit harder to do the roll over your thumbs, and the back of your hand, obviously it's quite a lot bigger, quite a lot more stable. With your thumbs, a bit less space for it to rotate round. You might find this one takes a bit more work. But same position, this time with our thumbs pointing upwards, arms crossed, and now, when we do it, we need to do one and the other a bit faster. So, my right arm's on top, so that one's going to come up, and I'm going to let it spin around my thumb. And just after that one does it, I let my left arm come down, and that spins over. So in this one we don't have quite such a pretty middle position. We have to do it a bit faster, to make the trick work. So we go 1, 2, like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, and I don't do it, I don't sort of twist my hand over to do it, just bring my fingers back and out of the way and push my thumbs forward, like this. Show you the side on. So you push my thumb forward, and set my fingers straight up. As I said, there's a bit of a knack. Just doing it vertically, it's kind of tricky. And then when you start doing it horizontally in front of yourself, it's even more tricky. If you're finding a problem with your corkscrew, with your twisty corkscrew, when you get a bit further on, it's quite often the case that when you've done these double thumb circles, you caught the grip wrong. So it's worth really drilling it so you end up in this thumbs up position. Start thumbs up with our arms crossed, end thumbs up with our arms crossed. Drill it, get it really solid, and get the other one really solid as well. Thumbs down, thumbs down. A bit easier this one. You can do it a bit more slowly. This one a bit harder, but both of them need to be pretty solid. So that's what happens at the top and bottom. Now let's look at putting it into our corkscrew. So first of all, let's look at where we get to at the top. If I'm doing my normal corkscrew like this, I'm going to come round and I'm going to reach, instead of coming down, see I normally come down with the right hand. Instead of letting that happen, I'm going to come down with my left hand. So the position we end up in is with this thumbs down position, and I put my left hand in front of me. Okay? So twist your hands so your thumbs are pointing down, have your left hand on top of the right, like this, lean back slightly, and try and twist so this hoop comes under the right one. See? Like this, nice and awkward. Twist under and come down. And then we get to this position with our hands facing outwards, and we're going to attempt that double thumb circle. It's a lot easier with momentum. Trying it flat like this is quite hard. You try it with a bit more speed. We've got to be here, we've got to have our left arm on top of the right. If it starts feeling comfortable and easy, you're probably doing it wrong. Should be nice and awkward. So we're here, twist round, come under, and do that double double thumb sweep. Just practice that a few times, where thumbs are pointing away from me, come round, thumbs. I should end up in this position. So from this position, again, left hand's now under, thumbs are pointing forwards. I'm going to twist up and lead with my left hand. Again, quite awkward, but lift up with my left hand, and the red one stays in front of me. Now what we might find in these twisty positions is that you're tempted to let this right one come up while the left one's coming up, like so. This isn't what we want. This right one has to stay down, has to stay in front of me, like this, as the left one comes up first. Whoosh, until I get to this position. This position again is where I'm going to do the back of the hand on. So the left one comes up, and from here, this is where I'm going to do that back of the hand roll that we learned, whoosh, and catch it here. And this brings us to the start position. So we do from here, twist, thumb, twist, back, twist, thumb, twist, back, twist, thumb, twist, back. It's difficult, it's a bit confusing. If you're not getting it, go back to the drills that we started with. Really look at which hand leads, because it has to be this arms crossing over and your left hand leading. The temptation is for this right hand to pull in front of the left hand and get back in the lead. You really have to force it so the left hand stays in front the whole time. Left hand in front, left hand in front. Again with the hoops, not letting this right one come back into the game, and forcing the position so that the left hoop stays in front. So this is my start position, left hoop in front, thumbs, left hoop in front, back of the hand, like so. And then we're going full speed, and we put the turn. Like so. So yeah, probably going to take you quite a bit of practice to get. Generally the problem with it is that you're letting your right hand come up for the left hand. If you do start to get it, you can do another trick which is quite cool, which is simple. So simply, it makes it a little bit harder, but we're not doing anything different with our hands, we're just putting a body movement in there. So we're doing this sort of body movement around the pattern, like so. So this move is called a hoop matrix, which is based on a poi matrix, which is kind of based on a staff matrix, although it's quite different. Anyway, that's not entirely relevant. I'll show you how to go into it. Once you've got your normal corkscrew going, you can add in the extra twist, and then you can lean right back and across, like this. So you're going to bend your knees, lean right back into it. You want to warm your back up a bit first, probably. Make sure you're not going to do yourself an injury. And try and bend your knees as you lean back to get this sort of one arm and the other movement. Like that. So, good luck with that one. If you want at this point, you can stop the video and try putting that trick into your flow. So mixing it in with all the other horizontal moves we've done.